Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, it means that you are on level 2 of the CER writing process, which means you got a CX on that CER that you were handed back today. This means that we are working on writing claims that zoom out of evidence. So here is your checklist that we've gone over to help you kind of construct your CERs. And what I saw was, when I was looking at your writing, was that one of two mistakes was happening. If you got a CX, one thing that typically happened was you did not do this first step here, to rewrite the prompt as a question. And that makes sense because the first step of writing a claim is to answer the question/prompt directly. So rewriting that prompt as a question helps you with that first step of writing a claim. The other mistake that I saw was that you, if you got a CX, often had trouble zooming out of your evidence to write your claim. So when we talk about zooming out of your evidence, we're going to be talking about big ideas behind the evidence. We must use by and because, and we cannot use the evidence in our claim. You sound crazy when you repeat yourself, So, when you write a claim, you should not be repeating the evidence that you've done in steps 2 and 3. Rather, your claims should zoom out of your evidence. And I'll give you an example of that now. So, here's my sample essay. And here are the parts that you all, if you got a CX, these are the parts that you've done correctly. This means that you have gotten correct evidence that helps you answer the prompt. You've used your evidence in the sentence starter to plug into the CER, but then you struggled with this claim part. So here, step 1, like I said before, when we rewrite that prompt as a question, it helps us answer the question directly when we start our claim. So here my question is, did Lizzie respond appropriately to being questioned? So to answer that question directly, it's really easy. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, Lizzie did not respond appropriately to being questioned because. Okay, if I go back and look at my checklist, now I have answered the question or prompt directly and I've used because or by. What I'm missing is that I have to zoom out of my evidence. So if I go back and I look at my evidence for why she did not respond appropriately was when the book said on page 19, more troubling yet, not at any time during the interview had she been in tears. Okay, so my evidence for her not responding appropriately is that she was not in tears. She did not cry. So if I'm zooming out of my evidence, that means that I cannot say anything about tears or crying in my evidence. I have to zoom out. What is the big idea behind her not crying when she is being asked these questions? What's the big idea behind that? Okay, I know that if she's not crying after her father and stepmother's faces have gotten chopped off, that's not appropriate because she's not showing appropriate emotions after having gone through a really, really difficult event. So I'm going to say that in my claim. She did not respond appropriately to being questioned because she did not show emotions after a very, okay, let me think, like scary, like traumatic, I think. A very traumatic event. Now, you can see how my evidence said had she been in tears. She's never cried. And then my claim has to zoom out of that. So what's the big idea behind her not having tears? It's that she did not show emotions after a very traumatic event. And that's how my claim zooms out of my evidence, and that's going to give me a C check. I've used all my sentence starters. I've zoomed out of the evidence. Now, when you write yours, you may not use my claim. Even if our evidence is the same, you need to change your claim to be the big idea behind the evidence. So give that a shot now, and let's see if you're able to level up to level 3 next time we do this. Well done, guys. Bye.